Imagine this. A group of criminals pull off the most daring bank heist in U.S. history, walking away with over $70 million in cold, hard cash. No alarms, no witnesses, no immediate suspects. It was the perfect crime, or so they thought. But here's where it gets insane. What happened after the heist was even more unbelievable than the robbery itself. One tiny mistake unraveled everything, and to this day, millions of dollars are still missing. Who were these criminals? How did they pull off such a massive job? And most importantly, could someone still be spending that stolen fortune right now? Stay with me, because this story is about to blow your mind. This isn't just a story about a robbery. It's a story about the ultimate inside job. A security expert turned criminal mastermind. A plan so precise it seemed unstoppable. And a payout so massive that even law enforcement was left in shock. In this video, we're breaking down the biggest bank heist in US history, step by step. How it was planned, how it was executed, and the one small mistake that turned it all upside down. But here's where it gets even crazier. Most of the stolen money was never recovered. That means millions could still be out there, waiting to be found. Or maybe someone's already spending it. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how it happened, and why the full truth may never be uncovered. 1. The perfect target. Why this bank? Every great heist starts with a perfect target, and in this case, it was the Dunbar Armored facility in Los Angeles, California. But this wasn't just a random hit. No, this was an inside job, planned by someone who knew the building better than anyone. Meet Alan Pace. On the surface, he was just a regular guy, working as a security inspector at Dunbar. But what no one knew was that he wasn't inspecting the facility to protect it. He was studying it to rob it. For months, he walked those halls, noting every flaw in security. Blind spots in the cameras, weak points in the vault, guard shift changes, until he had a blueprint for the perfect crime. But here's the real question. How does a security expert turn into a criminal mastermind? What pushed him over the edge? And how did he convince an entire crew to pull off one of the biggest bank heists in US history? Stick around, because the plan he put together was so brilliant, it should have been impossible to crack. 2. The master plan. How they pulled it off. This wasn't just a robbery, it was a precision operation. Alan Pace had spent months dissecting Dunbar's security system, learning every flaw, every weakness. He didn't just want to rob the facility, he wanted to make sure no one even knew it happened until it was too late. To pull it off, he needed a crew he could trust, so he turned to his childhood friends. No outsiders, no loose ends. Just a small, tight-knit group, each with a specific role, each trained in exactly what to do. On the night of the heist, they moved like ghosts. They avoided every camera, slipped past alarms, and went straight for the cash vault. Why? Because Pace knew exactly which door led to the jackpot, and which ones would trigger the alarms. Within minutes, they were loading up bags with stacks of cash. And before security even realized what had happened, they were gone. It was flawless. The perfect crime. No evidence, no fingerprints, no alarms tripped. Law enforcement had nothing to go on. But here's the twist. This mastermind-level heist was about to come crashing down. And it wasn't police work or high-tech forensics that unraveled it. It was one tiny, careless mistake. And it changed everything. What went wrong? Keep watching, because this is where it all starts to fall apart. 3. The escape and the one mistake that changed everything. They did it. $18.9 million in cash. No alarms, no witnesses, no evidence left behind. The perfect heist. And just like that, they vanished. For weeks, investigators were left clueless. No forced entry, no security footage, no fingerprints. It was as if the money had just disappeared. And the best part, every single bill they stole was untraceable. No serial numbers linked to the crime, no die packs, just pure cash ready to be spent. Alan Pace and his crew thought they had pulled off the ultimate crime, but then it happened. One tiny mistake, one slip-up that seemed meaningless at the time, a careless action that should have gone unnoticed. But it didn't. And that one mistake gave investigators exactly what they needed to crack the case wide open. So what was it? What did they do wrong? Stick around, because you won't believe how something so small led to their downfall. 4. The aftermath. Where did the money go? Imagine walking away with $18.9 million in cash, completely untraceable. No banks, no credit cards, just stacks of cold, hard cash. For a while, life was good for Alan Pace and his crew. They started laundering the money, slowly feeding it into businesses, making it look legit. Expensive cars, luxury homes, designer clothes. They were living like kings while the FBI was left chasing shadows. But here's the thing. The law never forgets. It took years, but one by one, the crew members started making mistakes. The pressure, the paranoia, it started to crack them. Eventually, arrests were made and Pace himself was taken down. But there's one problem. Not all of the money was ever found. Millions of dollars just disappeared. And that raises the biggest question of all. Did someone else get away with the rest of the loot? Was there a secret player in the game? Or is the stolen fortune still out there hidden, waiting to be discovered? The case is closed, but the mystery, that part may never be solved. In the end, the biggest bank heist in U.S. history wasn't just about the money. It was about how even the smartest criminals can be brought down by a single tiny mistake. Months of planning, flawless execution, and yet, it only took one careless slip to unravel it all. But here's what still keeps investigators and conspiracy theorists up at night. Millions of dollars were never recovered. So what do you think? Is someone, somewhere, still living off that stolen fortune? Or did the missing cash disappear forever? Drop a comment below. Do you think the